Hi, my name is Vicky Russell. Melissa is my niece, and Melissa's getting married in October, and she's interested in wearing the gown that I wore back in 1982. The gown that we're talking about was originally made for Melissa's mother to wear back in the 1970s. The gown was made by my mother. She had planned to make the dress for Pat back in the 1970s, and when it came time for me to be able to get married in 82, she was working. Mom was working at our restaurant and just did not have the time allowance to be able to make my wedding gown, so we actually went out shopping for a gown. It is comical the way that all happened, though, because I looked at gowns, I looked at magazines, we looked and we looked, and we went and we tried on, and Mom, of course, was with me, and each time I could tell she just wasn't happy with the workmanship of the gowns, and I wasn't happy with the look. I had, of course, had a wonderful example of my sister's dress, and I wanted something like what she had because the lace on the dress was just beautiful, beautiful lace, and the workmanship was just beautiful. So when we looked at dresses, we kept looking, and my mom, she was just, you could tell she was just walking out and she wasn't happy. And so the last dress I tried on was the dress that she looked at me and she says, "You know, I can really do better than this." And I was like, "Well, Mama, what are you saying to me?" And she says, "I'll tell you what," she said, "if you work for me at the restaurant," she said, "I'll be glad to do your dress." Well, that was just what I wanted. It worked out beautiful, and the gown was beautiful. The original dress was, she really had to do a lot of work on the dress because my style of dress, of what I wanted, was quite different from what my sister had. But the lace work that was done, Mom was able to take that top layer, which was the lace, and the way it was worked up the skirt and in the bodice area, it looked phenomenal. Pat's dress was blush color. Mine was ivory color up under the satin. And I had a train. Pat did not have a train. And my train was incorporated. But before I ever get into that, let me tell you, with my mom, it was so neat to see her, how she used, and she, of course, had training with some of this, but she basically, I told her what I wanted, and she drew it out on paper and used that as her pattern. That just amazed me. Of course, I'm 22 looking at her where she's sitting there fixing this dress. But it was just what I wanted. And it meant a lot to me because of the fact that she made it, number one. But also the dress was just, it flowed. It felt comfortable. I could dance in it. It was just great. So, and then my sister-in-law, after the fact, she wore the dress also 2 years later. So I am just honored that Melissa wants to wear our dress, and if this is really the dress that Melissa wants, I hope that she'll be able to wear it. I hope this is what this will make her happy. I know that, like I said, I feel very honored, and I think it's a great honor to my mother. I know she put a lot of time into it, a lot of workmanship, and so we would just really be honored if she was to wear that dress. She'll be a beautiful bride.